messy marshmallows, uncooked meat, starchy foods, and tap water. The royals sure have a lot of rules when it comes to what they can and can't eat and drink. The British royals are guarded against sickness on all fronts. That's why shellfish is more or less out of bounds for working members of the monarchy. Seafood, including oysters, crab, shrimp, and lobster, carries a risk of contamination and, as a consequence, could leave its consumer with an upset tummy. As noted by Time, some shellfish are also prone to a buildup of heavy metals that are unsafe to ingest. Advising royals against eating shellfish seems to be a precautionary measure to preserve health. Grant Harold, a former butler to King Charles III, told The Express, "We don't want a member of the royal family having a serious reaction to food poisoning, especially on an overseas tour." According to Dinner at Buckingham Palace, a memoir by former palace staff member Charles Oliver, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip detested oysters. However, other royals haven't been such sticklers for the no shellfish decree. In 2013, King Charles visited the Whitstable Oyster Festival and slurped down 2 oysters. According to the BBC, he bravely remarked, "They are an acquired taste." If you thought that everyone loved potatoes and pasta, think again. Darren McGrady, who worked as a royal chef in Buckingham Palace's kitchens for 15 years, revealed that the late monarch preferred that there were no starches on the dinner table. Noting that she wasn't really a foodie, McGrady told CNN, "The Queen's not really bothered about food. Instead, she reportedly ate to sustain herself, which was one of the secrets to her robust health." Alongside potatoes, Queen Elizabeth II apparently wasn't a huge fan of pasta, and the dish didn't make it to the royal table when she dined alone. Discussing the Queen's eating habits, McGrady revealed to The Telegraph, "No starch is the rule. No potatoes, rice, or pasta for dinner." Basically, the Queen kept things simple, preferring healthy meats and salads to other popular foods. However, the Queen's dietary choices didn't rein in her family's hunger for pasta. Despite her mother-in-law's no pasta rule, Kate Middleton is reportedly more than happy to let her children indulge in it, and she'll occasionally join them too. Some people believe that you can never add too many garlic cloves while cooking. Unfortunately, the British royals aren't garlic aficionados, and the royal menu forbids the pungent ingredient. Given their jobs, which involve getting up close and personal with the most important global leaders and masses of fans, the British royals cannot risk having garlic breath. Queen Elizabeth II's former chef, John Higgins, told the National Post, "The Queen is a wonderful lady. The royal family are wonderful people, but they're missing out on garlic because at Buckingham Palace, you don't cook with garlic. I suppose in case you get the royal burp." The Queen Consort, Camilla Parker Bowles, admitted the no garlic rule was still in effect at the palace during her appearance on MasterChef Australia.
It's a canopy.
I hate to say this, but garlic.
So garlic is a no-no.
Garlic is a no.
Because
Reservations about the flavorful ingredient apparently stemmed from the late Queen's personal distaste for it. According to the BBC, the Queen's no garlic rule was even forwarded to Italy ahead of a trip. The royal family is pretty picky when it comes to the kind of water they drink. In fact, they apparently prefer carrying their own bottled water, especially when traveling outside of the United Kingdom for health reasons. Drinking tap water is a common practice across the world, including in the United States, Canada, and the UK. But many countries still struggle with access to sanitation. In several countries within the Commonwealth, which is presided over by the British monarch, less than 90% of the population has access to clean drinking water per Commonwealth network. While regular testing and regulations reportedly render British tap water very safe to drink, the King's family make alternate arrangements. Instead, the royal family's water supply comes straight from Hildon Natural Mineral Water, a company in Hampshire whose estates are deeply rooted in British history going back to the 17th century, per the brand's website. However, if you ever find yourself thirsting for an elixir fit for royalty, you'll reportedly have to shell out a few extra bucks than normal to get your hands on a bottle. Members of the British royal family are reportedly advised not to eat their meat rare, owing to the possible health risks, especially when they're traveling outside the United Kingdom, per The Sun. The preparation of a rare steak is perceptibly close to its raw form, and consuming the latter is an invitation for salmonella or E. coli poisoning. While many across the globe prefer a rare steak to well-done meat, the final verdict on its safety is still disputed. The United States Department of Agriculture recommends against eating undercooked meat, suggesting a minimum internal roast temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Queen Elizabeth II was apparently particular about opting for a well-done steak. This food preference reportedly surprised the royal chefs, especially as well-done steak is known for its tough, chewy texture. Former Palace chef Darren McGrady told Delish, "Chefs, we cook medium rare all the time, so it was really, really important that we got a really good sear on the steaks and cooked her steak well done." Long before assuming his role as the British monarch, King Charles III was tightening the screws on the royal menu. Back in 2008, the then Prince of Wales banned foie gras from his royal dinner tables. According to the Daily Mail, chefs at all of his royal residences were prohibited from buying or serving the controversial item. Foie gras, a French delicacy that translates to fat liver, has been mired in debate over its ethicality. Animal welfare activists argue that the process of producing this luxury food, which entails force-feeding a duck or goose to retrieve fatty liver, is cruel, per The Guardian. While British law doesn't allow the production of foie gras in the country, Animal Equality UK observes that no law prevents the item from being imported or sold. Despite the royal family favoring French cuisine, this particular fare is shunned in the palace, per Insider. The king is known for his preference for a diet that prioritizes the health of nature over his taste buds. Though his diet accommodates both meat and plant-based food, he reportedly consciously opts for preparations that reduce his carbon footprint, per The Express.
That actually you have to fit together with nature.
Queen Elizabeth II loved natural foods, and she was reportedly extremely knowledgeable and fussy about enjoying the right kind of fruit in the right season. In particular, the late monarch relished strawberries. Her favorite variety came from Balmoral and were often turned into jam and preserves. When she had time, she even picked the fruit out herself. As chef Darren McGrady told Vanity Fair, the Queen would relax by going strawberry picking and come back with a basket of berries for me to prepare in the kitchen. He also added that the monarch liked her strawberries paired with chocolate, a lifelong beloved treat.
The Queen was a chocoholic. She loved chocolate.
However, if her strawberries were out of season, the Queen would allegedly send them back with a warning, according to The Express. It's no coincidence that Wimbledon, where the classic strawberries and cream dessert is an old tradition, falls during strawberry season. You'd best believe that someone who took their strawberry eating seriously would extend the same courtesy to other seasonal fruits. Peaches and mangoes were other favorites of the Queen, when they were in season, of course. Ex-royal chef John Higgins told the National Post she could tell you how many mangoes were in the fridge at Buckingham Palace. Much like her alleged disdain for pasta, Queen Elizabeth II reportedly wasn't a fan of pizza either. In fact, this beloved Italian dish was never on the table at Buckingham during her reign, with chef Darren McGrady telling Insider, 11 years at the palace, and we never served pizza at all, not even at receptions. The late monarch was a stickler for her no-starch rule, especially at dinner time when she avoided bread varieties. The palace's elegant menus could not afford to have pizza, with its messy tomato sauce disturbing an otherwise fine dining experience, per the BBC. Moreover, Victorian etiquette dictated that handheld foods only be reserved for afternoon tea. Whether or not the Queen indulged in this globally loved, soul-satisfying delicacy was a mystery even to Kate Middleton. When students asked her about it at an event in 2019, Kate replied, via W Magazine, "That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe next time I see her, should I ask?"
Are you allowed to order in a takeaway if you wanted to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Though Chef McGrady never fired up the wood ovens at Buckingham, he did recall making pizza for Prince William when he was a young boy, telling Us Weekly, "I didn't start cooking pizza until I moved across to Kensington Palace." Prince Harry's palate is rather American when it comes to enjoying hamburgers. The Brit, who stepped back from official royal duties in 2020, doesn't count the calories when it comes to his favorite grub. Discussing his favorite fast food restaurant in California, Prince Harry told People in 2023, "In-N-Out is the best. I order 2 double-doubles, animal style, fries, and a Coke. And that's just for me. Meg gets the cheeseburger and fries with sides of jalapenos." However, he doesn't share this enthusiasm for another American classic, though, and that's s'mores. The prince isn't a fan of toasty marshmallows, a staple campfire tradition that his wife probably grew up with. During an official visit to a nature reserve in 2017, Harry revealed, per Today, "I've never toasted marshmallows over a campfire. They're too sweet for me." While the royal did admit to having had his fair share of camping experiences, his dislike of s'mores prompted a collective gasp from everyone in attendance. The shocking revelation even earned him 2 golden tickets, Willy Wonka style, from leading marshmallow brand Peeps to visit their factory, per the Los Angeles Times.